guys call me Catherine Rachel. I'm a woodballer. And so finally, the long-awaited day has arrived, where we are at St. Apollo Kagwa Secondary School, Mukono, and we are here to launch Woodball for the inclusive. So here with me are my partners who are working on the wheelchair for Woodball for the disabled, and they're going to tell us what they are doing. So I would like to start with my friend Elvis, and he tells us what is exactly going on here.
Yes. Hello everyone. As you see, right now we are assembling the parts onto the wheelchair. Basically here we attach this equipment that holds the mallet onto the wheelchair. We screw it with 3 different screws. Then the other part is to hold the mallet so that it can be able to move in different directions as desired by the player.
Our friend Jeremy would like to add onto something.
Okay, so what makes the whole system move? We have 2 bearings. One is a smaller version. We use one of a motorcycle with joints to the mechanism that holds the wheelchair. Then another that actually helps the mallet to turn as you're playing.
Thank you very much. Besides this, we have come with a number of delegates from the Federation. Let me take you to them. Yes.
I'm Javet Kavuma from Uganda Woodball Federation.
Thank you.
My name is Komaguma Emmanuel, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Yes.
My name is Agaba Martin from Civic School for the Blind. I'm also happy to be here.
Okay, I'm Julius Agaba Abisha from Uganda Woodball Federation, and I'm basically here to attend this wonderful training, and I hope it will be a successful one.
Thank you. Yes, madam.
I'm Orone Grace. The Assistant General Secretary of the Federation, stroke the chairperson of this project. We are here to have a training of trainers who will train the athletics in this innovation. That's the purpose why we are here today.
Thank you.
My name is Katumba Emmanuel. I'm from Entebbe Welfare School in Entebbe. I'm here for a training to see how I can help my children with special needs. Thank you.
I'm Godfrey Nyakoli from Salama School for the Blind sports teacher.
Please tell us your name.
Okay, I am Nathan Tumwine from Salama School for the Blind.
Last but not least,
My name is Paul Mesenero, and we are here for the training. I can't wait.
so the materials that we have actually come with includes the wheelchair, having an extension with the equipment, that is the mallet that will be used for playing, and also we came with the braille, a book that will help our brothers and sisters who are visually impaired to read and understand what Woodball is all about. So for now, I'm so expectant since we are ready to engage with most of these people, and we hope it's going to be a good beginning. And yes, today we are making history to the world.
Our guests from different corners of the world. So allow me welcome all of you on behalf of Sir Apollo Kagwa as a school. I have been authorized by my boss to coordinate the activities of this training, and be sure you are in a very safe place. Nobody is going to chase you to go and get your car, go back. Because the car has already gone. You may start running from here up to Chirondo. That is not going to be there. So before you run, be sure that Nobody is going to inconvenience you in this place. While here, for the task that you've come to do, you're going to be safe. Just in case you'll want some inquiries, I have some staff members in this room. We have Mr. Kazibwe Brian, and then Madam Madam Kalala Madina Nabu Kenya, right there. And then we have a teacher that is also visually impaired. It's called Mr. Olama Dennis. Allow me welcome all of you and wish you a fruitful time in this place here. Thank you very much.
My name's Orone Lois Grace Akirod. I am the Assistant General Secretary in the Federation. At the same time, I'm the chairperson of this committee, this event, why we are here. I bring you regards from the Federation. I stand on behalf of the Federation. However, the project was endorsed by the ExCom committee of the Federation to make sure that we go ahead to train people who will go and disseminate to the learners at schools, being primary or secondary or higher level, whatever it is. With due respect, I recognize the facilitators as mentioned to us already. You are most welcome. And thank you for accepting that and going through it. I know already we have learned something which we are going to disseminate to our learners. The reason why we are now training, we want to prepare learners to compete in the future in the country and worldwide. We should go outside also and compete with those people, isn't it? Yes, it's a good idea. That's why we start something so that we also go across and see what others do. That's what is the dream from the Federation. With those few remarks, I now declare the training open. Thank you.
When it comes to Woodball for the visually impaired, what is very, very important as we shall be working down there, it's the discipline to obey instruction by the player. That is key, very, very key. Because it's made up of codes. And our brothers and sisters who have visual disability, their sense of touch is greater than the one we have. Because their mind is more focused on that. So the ability, the discipline to obey instruction, and number two, the ability to concentrate on a thing. It boosts the player's ability to focus. That is the benefit. This is Woodball in Braille. And maybe our colleagues who are already reading, they can tell us how they have found it, just in a second.
For it will help us to concentrate and connect with each other.
It's fine, because I see also the blind will be given a chance to play like any other person. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
The word Woodball actually is not new in my ears, but the issue is that I found new things here, like is it mallet, what? I say, a gate, what type of gate is this? Things which are very rare. I don't know how they work, but otherwise it looks a very interesting game.
When you will hear codes like S means a straight ball. the focus is that these legs should be like in a straight line. Now, this is different from chord D. Chord D, which means diagonal. That means that one leg, one foot will be slightly in front and the other one slightly what? Behind. All of us are going to be able to feel that. So when we say, so we have how many, what are the two main chords? S and D. S means straight, D means diagonal. So now we come to classify them. We have S1. Like you see, we have, like you see, number 1. S2, that is number 2. S3, number 3. That means that as I'm stretching my hands to swing, my S1 will be shorter. The ball I've hit with S1 means I've used less strength. For example, when my legs are so close to each other, like how you're seeing me, people who are that side, you can see from my colleagues here. When the legs are so close to each other, this one enables us to take a short ball. When we slightly set them apart, that is, we are more at ease. So as we can see, now the legs are slightly what? Apart, but still straight. This one now represents S2. So if we widen more, that one can give us a longer what? Ball. That means that now the space between the legs is a little bit what? Larger. So that one can give us a longer ball than what? S2. Isn't that easy? The other main chord is what? D. Who can guess what D1 is all about?
I heard of being in a diagonal format. Maybe you stand diagonally when you're stretching the ball.
So D1.
So I think D1 as S1, the legs are together. That means you stand diagonally when the legs are together. That means D1. Then is there D2?
Yes.
Then also the legs also move apart.
Slightly apart.
Slightly apart.
Than D1.
Than D1. So that you can hit the ball to go. When in D1 can take the ball shortly, and D2 can distance the ball far.
Who wants to share an idea of D3?
Yes, I may feel that it gives us a long distance as you are swinging the hand.
Yes, sir.
So the ball will be able to move at a long distance.
Yes, sir.
Compared to the D2.
Thank you so much. If you're more at ease, then you can take a longer what? Ball. Now, we are going to find other chords, such as, because you reach a point whereby you're about to finish. But the decision you must take, either you must hit the ball to the left or to the what? To the right. So that means we can have straight but to the right or straight to the what? To the left. That one depends on our hands. If I want to hit my ball in the direction of my right hand, but straight, that one straight to the what? To the right. In Woodball, we are allowed, we have a gate. We are all going to feel what a gate is. That you are allowed even to score from behind the what? The gate. In football, they would say that there you're out. In Woodball, so long as you're still in the string, then you're still what? In. So that means that if I'm already behind the gate, then I can hit reverse. But the kind of reverse I'm hitting for me to score, is it a straight ball or a diagonal what? So I can have straight reverse or diagonal what? Reverse. But that one also, depending on the distance, we can have 1, 2. Isn't that easy? It is easy. Won't you win medals?
We are here in the game. It is Woodball. And in games, as we need to know before you go to to the field, you would have elaborated for us some dimensions and the measurements how to make the pitch where we play Woodball from.
Okay, first and foremost, Woodball was started in 1990 by a gentleman called Wang, who died in 2021 during that COVID period. So if you calculate 1990 up to date, that is about 35, 36 years. The game has been in existence in the world. Now, Woodball was brought to Uganda by a lady and a gentleman. It was brought in a bag. Eh? Yes, it was brought in a bag by a gentleman called Paul Mark Kayongo, who is the president of Uganda Woodball Federation at the moment, then assisted by a lady called Kabenge Penina, who is a retired educationist from Makerere University. They had gone for games in China and they found this interesting sport and they're like, no, why don't we take it in our country as well? Now back in Uganda, Woodball is played in various schools, both primary, secondary, tertiary institutions, vocationals, and universities. Name whatever school you may think of. If we haven't yet gone to that school, we are going there. That's why you see now, if we have introduced the one for the visually impaired and the ones with the hearing impairment plus listening all, that means we are trying to develop the sport faster. Okay? So Woodball is growing as fast as possible. Now, the equipments which are used for playing Woodball as a sport is very key. Okay? We have what we call a Woodball mallet. For those who can see, it's called a mallet. Okay? Now, it is going to move around so that we can have a feel of the what? Of the mallet. In the same way, I'll have the mallet can't move without a ball. They say when you're playing football, you can't leave your legs behind and you go and enter. And you say you're a footballer. Even those ones who use hands for playing, let's say handball, netball, you can't leave your hands behind and you go and say you're playing volleyball or netball. Okay? So for us, ours, we use a mallet to hit a ball. Now, basically, we have what we call, in football, we have a goal post. In netball, we are also having a goal post, right? In handball, also has a goal post where you score. Okay? And for us, in Woodball, we have what we call a gate. Okay? A gate is where we score from. Okay? Now, the funniest part of our gate is one that you score from either side. Unlike for football, it is one way. For netball, when you go and stand and you're trying to hit it, throw it in, it is one way. Okay? Now, for us, ours, we are saying we can score from either side. Now, somebody could ask me, but how do you score from either side? How big could be the area at which you're playing so that you can score from either side? Before I go there, I think you might have played, is it called, I'm forgetting the name of the goalball. Those who have, if you have seen goalball, it is much less the same. Okay? Now, for Woodball, for it was derived from golf. Okay? I'll again take you a little bit behind to come and understand how this gentleman derived the idea and why he came to with the idea of innovation to bring in Woodball into the world. Okay? Now, I was still on the gate before I go there because it is a very interesting story. A gate is put in what we call a fairway. In golf, we have fairways. Fairways in golf are as big as possible. Okay? Now, for us in Woodball, we say our fairways should be a demarcation made by a rope. And your ball must be kept within the fairway. Since I have said our fairway is a demarcation made by a rope, which means your ball must be kept within that rope. Okay? So once it falls out of the rope, you must be penalized. Now, like in football, we have what we call, if the ball gets out of play, it is either throw in or it is a corner kick or a goal kick, right? Depending on the side where it is decided by the referee. For those who can see, he's trying to pass what we call a scorecard. A scorecard is where we record every stroke you make on a fairway. Okay? Every stroke you make on a fairway is every hit you make on a ball. In simple terms, I want to go back to nursery school. In simple terms, any hit you make on a ball is called a stroke. Now I want to bring the technologies, the technicalities in the game. Any stroke you make, any hit you make on a ball, okay, it's called a stroke. Now, the lot of experience I have in the sport, any moving ball, I say, a stroke has been made. Because a ball which was stationed in one place can't move when it has not been hit. Okay? Now, whoever hits any rolling ball, I am calling it a stroke. For those facilitators who will come, must also understand that any rolling ball, it can't roll without being made by a stroke. Are we together? Now, for those ones who are having the scorecards, okay, the braille will clearly tell you that our scorecard has a maximum of 12 gates, and the 12 gates in that scorecard sum up what we call a Woodball course. It brings us to what we call a Woodball course. So a Woodball course is made up of 12 gates. In other words, 12 fairways. Are we together? I am now teaching Woodball. Yeah? A Woodball course is made of how many fairways? 12. And in the 12 fairways, you can set the minimum, which are 6. Now, when you have the 6 fairways, you can play them twice to make a total of 12. I want to give now the brief on how this gentleman came with the idea or with the mindset of bringing the sport into existence. This gentleman was a golfer, meaning he was playing golf. Now, he had his parents who had aged, okay? And they were playing golf. Now, they couldn't play golf in the fairways they were having. You know, golf is more of a lot of moving, because one fairway can move from here up to down the center. We crossed when we were coming here, those who came here. That is just one fairway. Okay? Now, he was trying to make some things simpler. Now, one, he was, at the same time, he was also somebody who could take one for the road. In other words, he could drink. So in other words, as he was taking, he held his bottle and he was like, but there's something behind this bottle. Okay? Now when you look at our mallet, the mallet head has something in form of a bottle. We can see it clearly. Okay? Now he was in his happy moments drinking, but the minds were at work. That is what we call innovation. You start small and you keep on developing. Now, bear me witness that as he was climbing his steps, the stairs, on the stair rails, there are those round things you find they put on the stair rails where it makes the corner. Yeah? So he was holding it and he was, hey, so this round thing is doing what here? But this can be used to make a what? To make a ball. Previously, stair rails were not made of metals, for your information. They were made of wood. Okay? So the combination of, he couldn't use the bottle to hit the ball. However, he has identified the ball and the bottle. But he needed something to hold that bottle. That's when he derived the shaft of the mallet. Now, his mind is still on work. Okay? He's still understanding what he wants. Now, He goes ahead and says, but now I can hit the ball, I have something to use to hit the ball, and it goes. Now, how am I finishing the competition? That's when he derived what we call a gate. Now the gate will automatically show you that in the gate there is a glass. So use a bottle to pour the wine in a glass. Now for him he's saying, you're going to use the bottle to hit a ball to go through the glass. And that makes a score, a complete score. Now that means when I pour my wine in a glass, I am able to drink. That means I am enjoying. So when I score through the gate, okay, I am enjoying the play. As simple as that. Now you're seeing, he has 2 bottles. Now these 2 bottles should hold a glass. Now somebody might say, we have a goalkeeper. In a goal, there is a goalkeeper. But ours, we don't have a goalkeeper. We have a glass. Okay? Now somebody might ask of the metals which are protruding down. These metals are just used to have this gate put firm on the ground. Okay? So it must go and it settles on the ground like this. Okay? Now we said in our gate we are scoring from either sides. So when your ball is this side, you still score. When your ball is the other side, you still score, but within the demarcation of what we are calling the fairway. Are we together? So our gate is made of 2 bottles holding the glass in the middle. Now this glass must be kept flexible. Why? Because if the ball hits it, it must be in position to rotate freely. Okay?
The slight changes you may come across, that is basically for convenience, depending on someone's what? Disability. But it is birthed out of what? The mother Woodball.
About the Woodball, the vision impaired, I've not heard anything like a bell, like what? How can a vision impaired see that ball?
We have codes, and it's purposed that the player who is visually impaired, he's held by a coach. So there is someone who holds him and takes him to the what? To the fairway. Then this person, so it's more of united effort. Because of the nature of our ball, it is hard. If we don't have a guide, then we might be exposed to more injuries. So, I'm with my brother here, I move with him to the fairway. I put him where the ball is, and then he searches for it with his what? His hands. He gets it. Then I say, S1. S1. Now, in his mind, he must have been trained that when they say S1, this is what you remember this is the point we say that the discipline to obey instructions. So do you see how Woodball instills obedience? So if he's not obedient, he might decide to do the other way around.
I've not seen the demonstration, but what I was trying to mean,
yes, sir.
When someone hits the ball and it's coming to you, I don't know how do you get it. Maybe we shall demonstrate and maybe I learn more.
Okay, thank you so much. Woodball, it's personal. There is nothing like I'm hitting to him and he's hitting back to me. You start and you finish. The goal is you should finish with the lowest number of strokes. If I'm competing with you, the only difference will be in the number of strokes. If I'm so obedient and I've been training, then I'll hit very few strokes. If I've not been training, I've been dodging trainings, they tell me S1, I don't know what to do with S1, I hit S to the left, I move out. I'll end up hitting more strokes. Now that's where the competition arises from.
there any possibility that with time they make those balls with sounds for the visually impaired?
Thank you so much. That with time, can we have that ball with rings? Huh? With their rings, right? To produce the sound. The bell. The bell. Thank you so much. The bell. We can't promise for now. We can't promise for now. However, for security purposes, there are rules that govern safety on the fairway to make sure that even though someone is visually impaired, the ball is not able to hit him. There are rules. For example, if I'm not on the fairway, I must be 3 meters away from the fairway. Then when we are setting up fairways, they are always apart. Yes, and even the fairways we are using for the visually impaired Woodball, they are shorter.
Is it the must? Because some of us we may be innovative more than this. Is there likelihood that someone can make a ball out of the plastic material, so that a ball can be put inside, or it's a must? It should be a wood.
Thank you so much. That what if we innovate and now we have a plastic what? Ball. We welcome innovations. And the reason why we are handing over these books to us and this knowledge is that you, by the insight God has given you, you might also be able to build on. So innovation has not ended here. So even when we take them to our schools, let's encourage our brothers and sisters, our students, that yes, the team from the Federation has given us this. But from the insights you're receiving, are you coming up with new ideas? So when it might not be plastic, because the name will change. It will no longer be Woodball. Because we want something, Woodball is friendly to nature, that because it is wood, if it is old, it rots and goes back to the ground. Did I answer my brother?
Yeah, but my question is, that Woodball, can you, because I see these carpenters are too innovative, can't they make, if there is a chance of getting that tennis they put in the showdown tennis, can't they make something inside that wood? Can they put some bell and they close so that we can easily play without any inconvenience?
So in other words, you want a bell inside?
Yes.
He wants a bell inside. Well, we shall submit it, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you, my brother.
Okay, thank you. I'm Fred Wangalia, the Deputy Academics here. I think all these questions are coming because they have not touched the practical part of it. If they go on practical, they might know whether it requires a bell or not. So I think as we rush, we have a representation here of visually impaired learners. We shall see whether they can do without a what? A bell. So the issue of the bell should not take us far. They should first try. If it doesn't work, then we shall know how to improvise with the bell. That is my suggestion.
Thank you so much, Mr. Deputy. Okay? Allow us to continue to Woodball for those with both vision and hearing impairment.
We are going to have a representation of the farewell being put on the bed, on the board, soft board or paper form, and then we are going to put some pins on the board, showing the demarcation of the farewell, plus the position of the gate, the position of the beginning, and where the ball will be stopping. When you hit the ball, like an S1, that is short, a straight ball, where it stops, we carry a pin and place it there. so that when you come and you touch the board, you're able to feel and try to measure where the ball is according to the representation of the fairway. And that's how it will be done, depending on the distances.
As in Gorobo, we have the dimensions of 9 by 18. Then the 18 is divided into 6 parts. So then what is the dimension of the Woodball court?
Now, the longest fairway we have in Woodball is 130 meters long, and the shortest being 40 meters. Now, that is for Woodball played on grass. Okay? But remember, we have Woodball played on sand, called beach Woodball. Okay? Its dimensions are also different. So the longest is 80 and the shortest is 30. Okay? Now, the width of the fairways vary with the length of the fairway. Okay? But it is from 3 meters to 10 meters wide. That is the width. So the width varies with the distance of the fairway. Are we together? But in a Woodball course, you have what we call 12 fairways. That means you'll be moved from one fairway to another one with different distances and different shapes. Okay? Whereby we shall see from down there, and they will be in position to explain furthermore.
So when we look at this one, the codes are similar to those ones in Woodball for the visually what? Impaired. The codes are the same. But the difference is that here, I have hearing impairment. So if you tell me codes, like you're telling someone who has visual impairment, I cannot pick the codes. But you can demarcate for me the fairway on that card, a cardboard, any cardboard. Of course, it will be harder than this one, so that the pins cannot do what? Move out. So these are the pins. So my player has hit a ball here. So my pin, which was here, I've moved it here. So for him, my player, he can touch here. This is my starting line, okay. Also, I've hit a diagonal. Then from here, where is my gate? Oh, it's not straight. Because where these two pins are, then that is where the gate is. So that means from here, I need a diagonal which is slightly to the center. I'm using what? Hands. Isn't that easy?
Is that only for the deaf? Because you're telling us that one now you're teaching about the deaf. How about the blind? Can they use it? Because for me, I thought that with the help of interpreters, the deaf can play like any other person. People who know sign language.
Thank you so much. The one for sign language, we shall come. For now, we want to first release these three. Then those ones who are paralyzed, mental disability, that now the limbs are dysfunctional, and then those ones who are deaf, it will be another category. Yes. For now, we are handling for the visual impaired, both visual and hearing impairment, and then for physical what? Disability in the legs.
In Woodball for the inclusive is birthed out of the mother Woodball. So we are not actually setting out to change the game completely, but we want to make it such that even people who are in wheelchairs can actually enjoy the game. And now that's where we have decided to actually come up with this. So this is, we call it a mallet handler. It's a very simple contraption. You put it on either side of the armrest, on the armrest, depending on which side that you want. If you're right-handed, you can put it on the right. If you're left-handed, you can put it on the left. So how it works, So how it works, if there's someone sitting in the wheelchair, and you will have a pusher, someone there protecting to where you want to start where the ball is. So all you have to do is point the mallet in the direction you want to hit the ball. So one hand grips the lower part of the mallet. Then now, if you want, you can also hold the upper part. And then it's just a matter of pulling the mallet back and you play. But now, where some of the let me say, the technical bits of it come, the bottom hand, the one that's holding this part, has to be very firm in order for it to get a very straight ball and the ball to go very far. If you have a very loose grip here, your ball won't go very far, or you may actually miss the center of the ball. So some of the key things that we are talking about here should be very firm, and you also have to have a good direction. And when you're playing this game, what we have decided on is you should have someone pushing you, because when this is in the way, it won't be really difficult for you to actually push it yourself, because this will be in the way. So you have someone pushing you, takes you to where the ball is, depending on your directions, and you can play. Then I'll just maybe hint on a few of the parts of this. That's all this one. So here we have this one, we call them jaws. These are what clamp onto the armrest. Here we can see this part is able to turn. And that's because of this here. There's what we call a bearing. Actually, this is one for a motorcycle. It was small enough to actually fit what we wanted. The reason why we made this gap the way it is so that it could give you a clearance from the tire, so that you couldn't actually knock the tire as you're playing. Then we also have this part here. Now here is where you actually fix your mallet. This is to tighten it's supposed to tighten along the shaft of the mallet, so the mallets are very firm, depending on the size. And you already start playing.
Now, when we start using mallets, we shall realize that mallets will always come in different sizes. You will have some which are aluminium, whose diameter here might be smaller. Like this wooden, as you can see, it's somehow big, but you might also come across one. The one for primary students and the one for university students will be somehow what? Different. That's why we need something here, and there is something for tightening. It's there, which you tighten on the mallet and it locks. So, as we have seen it. In this school, maybe we can ask some few questions. How many students use wheelchairs in this school? There is no one, eh? No one. Okay. Then from Salama? They don't use wheelchairs. They can walk? They can walk. Okay. Then Entebbe, welfare schools. 6. They use wheelchairs. Is it this type? This type, eh? Okay. So that means as you're going back today, you'll go with these handles. Okay, that is nice. After this, now we are going to be the agents, okay? Because if you realize that it benefits your school, then that means that there is also another school it does what? It benefits. So you will be the ones to recommend. That are, like for example, most of us here were recommended by Mr. Dennis Lakomegum, the one who translated that Woodball for the visually impaired into Braille. He's the chairperson of the visually impaired in Gulu City. So he was like, I have a school in Impiji. Then from there, I connected someone at Embrace Culture. He said, I know Entebbe welfare schools. So that's how, like, when it comes to Sapporo, Kagwa was recommended directly by Mr. Dennis and Salama. So that means that this one, it encourages us to also recommend that by the time we leave here, you will have given us a list of other schools that you know. You say, I have relationships with teachers at this school and this school and this school. Even though they are outside this region, we shall trace them to the dot. because the heart behind all this is that there is no any God-given potential which should be buried. Now we have started. Tomorrow we shall be in Paralympics. Who knows that maybe this person whom the society never saw as someone beneficial is the one who is going to bring pride to our nation. We have seen that. So this is just the beginning. We are going far.
With equipments for the disabled children, really, it is sometimes it becomes hard. We come in trainings, we train. So when you go back to the ground and talk with our administrators to give them to us, they tend to say that they don't have money, and we sleep with the ideas which we have learned. Is there any possibility of donations? So that if we get one, then if you get somebody whom you can request, can add you when we already have one on the ground.
As per now, we cannot say yes or no, but normally the president does it. He donates equipments to schools.
Thank you so much, Mama. Just to also request, before you leave, we shall request that we know the population of players per category. Say that as we are taking the matter up there, we also have statistics. Thank you.